button, and David Wilson's going to unmute himself for the recording. Here we go. Oh, that's him, right? So let's do this again. Okay. Hello and welcome to Angora Poets, the World Cafe, on this Sunday evening in Paris and afternoon and elsewhere on April 16th, 2021. Tonight, we're going to start with 7 poets and see how we carry along during that number. And so I welcome you all to listen tonight. And we will begin with our first reader, who we affectionately call the judge, and that would be Bill Strangmeyer. Hello, Bill.
Hey, Mo. Hi, everybody.
It's May 16th, though.
May 16th?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm in France. Okay, start with a quote. Whether the really long-range future lies with organic post-humans or with intelligent machines is a matter for debate, but either way, there will be insights into reality left for them to discover. That's from Martin Rees in an article called We'll Never Hit Barriers to Scientific Understanding in a collection called This Idea Must Die. Standing in the way of progress. It takes your breath away, stupidity and evil, because you're normal, fool human being, raised upright, if not by mom and dad, at least by friends, on the carpet of humanity where all flesh is grass, the playground of the wicked and the so-called great. Just like some used to call the black folk rugs because a weight of payment falls so hard on them to deepen what is owed by aristocracies and arrogance and to hurry ethnic cleansing. Some ask why it's taking so damn long and why the wine. They say it's all the rich and worthy who are victimized by restless natives now. But their colors are a plot invented by the winners of the wars, colonialist wars, to blot out feudal memories worldwide, peasantry, nobility, and royalty in Europe, Africa, the East. How pitiful the ignorant blind fools who hate a race, but love the smiling heads of paragons hired by kings, the gilded gluttons living high on tribute stolen from the fools, who mouth the homilies and insults handed down, the cost of idiocy that hits us all with obstinate and spiteful glumness, glee, indifference, or sneers, sent down by puppet strings stamped God, and couched in jargon, joke, or claiming inability to help it. Meant for the garish decoration of their padded mental cells. For the stupid fear will always rule philosophy, self-worth, and ambition, dictate moral truth, and call the imp of spite as witness to their strength. It hands out poisoned glee to those who envy bastards and love rape and ruin. They sure don't care, the walking dead, vampire slavers, common soldiers, the drunken, doped-up monsters of the mean street towns. But righteous citizens will do the same behind remote controls and put the blame on the godlet of their sickening fake religions, with their grasp on love so weak it can't break through the rage, the pain, the surrender of all hope because an idiot's revenge, some stupid vengeance on an object, let's say a person, is the only thought they coddle in defective modal minds. Seek self-aggrandizement sought to them by yap-yaps in the dim, in the din of public education for the growing bullies in its cold. Oh, let me not live on what I learned to do, to be in school. For the black cloud of hell hovers over my head, and the fear of the dead is a burden so dear. But that's me, not the government. No, for it gives and it takes like the god of the money. That's Satan, you know. There's a regime of pain held up by pain, the giving of pain, what those religionists call the word of God. Abeyance of pain in the moments of happiness are relief from their law. Is it our sin or our weakness, genetics, the devil, or God that keeps the serial killing, the mass executions on track? Or maybe the need to be better than someone who's better than you and to have them exceed is all that there is to the story of malice and wrong.
I believe that was a wrap, Bill.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Okay, what is the name of that poem, Bill?
Standing in the Way of Progress.
Okay, I've heard about it. Huh. Okay. How about number 2, Bill?
justifies Bill's name here.
The judge.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a shorter one. High school prom. I always wanted, I still want, to be cute, good dancer like in the slam books, never having understood the way things work within the monkey tribe. Is the code a song or does the wind carry it? A couple little things embodying seemingly beauty seem visible to all and draw us into dances ever changing, keeping time to kill and kill the other paths.
Your guess is as good as mine about the code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If,
Okay.
if you find it, let me know, okay?
Yeah, I'll send you. I'll send you an email. I'll tweet it. We'll become stars overnight and objects of ridicule.
No,
The people
boy.
measure. All right. How about three's a charm, Bill?
Yeah, this is called Never to Return. I won't forget. I'll take it in my ashes to an urn. My children will then sprinkle me and thoughts of you across a place that memories will name, perhaps a field. The wind will roil me into runes that spell your name, and every thought I've ever had will curl up into you, your ways and beauty what I'll call and seek to find. What resting place of wind or earth is yours, I do not know, because you never left that part of life where I was filled with hope and change and rising to a brave desire, thinking that there'd one day be a time of you and me. That ending was the fated goal, deserved and sure to come. That time is in a memory I've carried down the years, small moments worn and pressed into a regretful wish. I once led up to you and have since lived the long decline. That loss and failure is the song I sing for us. Your smile is still the memory I carry off to sleep.
Done. Well done. Thank you, Bill. Okay. All righty. So I believe number two tonight and now is at Claire, coming also in from Paris in France. Hello, Claire Andriani.
Hi everyone, so happy to see you.
Yeah.
So I have one first poem that is a kind of a transcendental experience that I had with nature today. So I wrote it today, and it's called "Speaking from Inside." My mind wanders in all directions, trying to find the flower of power among the trees, a power of the heart. Something speaking inside that makes me want to spread my legs and become the grass under me. I'm the image from inside. I'm the vision I see. Something that speaks in silence and gathers all in its strength. The strength to be one with nature. The strength to become me. I look at the sky above and at last I'm entire. I feel the sweet breeze as though it was my lungs, the branches waving, breathing. I hear the song of the awakening universe, white and green in my heart. The sky offers its eternal melody in color, and I'm one with the universe. I'm greenly becoming me.
Okay. All right.
First one.
Well, the melody and color. I like the unity of those two senses. The melody and color, among other things in your poem. Thank you.
Thank
Spread
you.
my legs and let me be the grass that grows.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's a wonderful image. Okay, Claire, how about your second poem?
Yeah, my second one is called The Jewel of My Mind. The jewel of my mind leads me to skies above and lets me grasp the clouds as if they were palpable in my heart. The different hues of the night and dusk create a silent music I can feel in my flesh, and the noise of the cars itself becomes poetic, decorating the vision before me that transpierces me as though I had become the image, as though I was on the other side. My eye is the messenger to my heart and transforms mere shapes into sensations. Green becomes nostalgia, dark blue happiness, red an hypercritical child, and my memories are dark like dim stars roaming into darkness. They fly one by one and take me to an age that melts with the present, smiling at me silently and looking from the past like the bright witnesses of my soul. Innocence shows in the bright sky, and the roofs have their secret lives. Quiet. I wish I were the child of every home. My heart roams about like a dark ghost. I wish I was the smoke in this chimney that seems to care about nothing, and yet exists like the remaining trace of a perfect present, like the silent laughter of the sky, smiling.
Wow. Good
My
wish
second
that.
one.
Yeah, that was very nice. Is that also a recent poem, Claire?
Yeah, I wrote it last month.
Okay, good. So, are we ready for Three's a Charm, huh?
Yeah, I'm ready. Are you
Yeah,
ready?
I'm ready. Everybody
Okay.
else ready? Hands up. Ready? Ready? Okay. Ready for Claire.
Okay, this one was was published by Jerry Jazz Musician for COVID times, and it's called I Can't Breathe. Between the man who harasses this girl in the metro and the wide eye of darkness roaming above us, I can't breathe. Between words that are whispered and unreal laughter, I can't breathe. This tale I used to be told when I was only 3, that proves to be wrong. The bear chasing the little girl, the wolf eating her, and the witch laughing in victory. I can't breathe. Candy doesn't taste the same in this ocean of misery, and everything seems to merge into darkness. The white cloth on our mouths, the messages you hear every minute in the metro, the distance between one another, the soaring paranoia one reads in people's eyes when someone is coughing. I can't breathe. The restaurants mourning their innocent days, times when laughter was a joyful experience, the empty streets that seem to be grinning at us. I can't breathe. The plastic bags flying everywhere and the trash carelessly thrown on the floor. The motorbikes riding joyfully in noise and misery. I can't breathe. The grey spirits and bodies of our times, I can't breathe. The corpses whose names I will never even know, buried in anonymity. The absurdity of an age and a nation that doesn't leave you the right to live. I can't breathe. The importance given to black or white, the will to kill what you can't grasp. I can't breathe. This woman's face showing cruelly on the front page because she was just been murdered while she was not even 18. The abandoned children, forgotten souls whose destinies depend on the merciless western breeze. I can't breathe. The human despair that lingers on this planet, grinning at ancient times when honor and majesty still existed, and the million wars that link the past, present, and future. Please, let me believe that someday soon we will finally be able to look at the sky and say together, I can breathe.
All right. Very good, Claire. Very good. And that was in Jerry Jazz Musician, right?
Yeah,
Okay, good. And as you know, we're supposed to have a greater opening of Paris Society. What, in about a week, is it, Claire?
yeah.
Okay. All right. And then we can at least begin to interact more than we have. Very nice. I think you represent the emotions and reactions of a lot of people who've gone through this COVID experience, which seem to compound the inequalities and injustices one suffers under, quote, normal circumstances. So thank you very much for that, Claire.
Thank you.
Okay. So we're going to stay in Paris again, and now we're going to move over to our bard, Kareem Jafari. Hello, Kareem.
Hello, Mo. Hello, everybody. Great honor to be here. Uh, maybe I'll sing a song, a short song in English, and then a poem, one of my poems translated by Mr. Jack Cooper.
Okay, your call. Go with it.
So the song is titled Love. Lonely guy in his lonely life, in a lonely world, so lonely street, met this lonely girl in her lonely city, with the lonely dreams, as sad as it seems, and what they made is what they feel. Love, 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 so fucking real. Love, Love, so real. So don't despise anyone, and the sun will rise again. Don't criticize anyone, and the sun will rise. Say the lonely guy in his lonely life, in a lonely world, so lonely street, met this lonely girl in her lonely city, with lonely dreams, as sad as it seems, and what they made is what they feel. Love, 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 so real. Love, Love, so real.
Okay, thank you. That was real.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you, Kareem. So, and now you wish to read us a poem, is that right?
Absolutely right. Translated by Jack.
All righty.
So maybe I will read you. It's very short. I'll read you the poem in French, then the translation. So
I would suggest that you first read it in
in
English
English.
and then in French, because you have
Okay.
mostly, yeah, I would suggest that.
Okay.
So we can appreciate the value of the French if we don't understand all the vocabulary. That's why.
Got you. So the end. The end. The end. Before your face. The essential substance. The uncertainty without words. And what won't stay. Passes the ideal has an all restraint unreal. Then the unknown, the exceeding sense. They were our dreams stem, they were our growth, thrives by different source. For pomp, the gift of light, endlessly go in quest that will be to the Lord of Eve and Adam, of Abraham, of Moses and of Aaron, of Jacob and of Joseph, of Jesus, of Mary, and of Mohammed. We love you, and I bestow to you here my sole treasure, the certainty that you are but love.
Hey, wow.
Sorry for my reading.
No, no, that was very good, very powerful. Okay, so now you will render for us in French.
Ok. Vérité visible, l'essence matérielle, le doute indescriptible et l'éphémère, les routes idéales et le poids des chimères, puis l'inconnu, l'ultrasensible, là où vibrent nos rêves, là où d'autres plantes vivent d'une autre sève, pour faste la lumière, voyage sans fin vers ce que nous serons. Ô Dieu d'Ève et d'Adam, d'Abraham, de Moïse et d'Aaron, de Jacob et de Joseph, de Jésus et de Marie et de Mohamed, nous t'aimons et je te livre ici mon seul trésor, la certitude que tu n'es qu'amour.
Whoop. Bravo on both accounts, Kareem. Bravo.
Thanks a lot.
And yeah, Jack. Hey, Jack.
Bravo to Jack.
Good effort on your part too, Jack. All right. So we'll wait for Kareem to issue his
There are two
CD
more.
album.
There are two
And
more
you're-
coming. I just haven't done them yet.
Okay.
Fine poem. Fine poem.
Thank you very much.
And at this rate, Kareem, you can look forward to a bilingual collection.
Hmm.
You know, that could be something to look forward to, Kareem. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, singer, poet. All right, bilingual person.
That's only
For the
two, right?
amazing. Yeah, you said you wanted to do two, but you're welcome to do a third.
No, thank you. Thank you very much. I want, thank you very much. Next
Just
time.
trying to coax another poem out of you, Kareem.
So next week, Jack will maybe translate one or two other poems, but you know, I write in French and I want to communicate with you. I don't want to say something in French and only.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, thanks again, Kareem. Okay. So now I think we're going to move over to David Wilson.
Yeah,
Yeah. Dharma Dave, how are you?
I'm
Signing
fine.
signing in from San Francisco, USA.
Yeah, somebody's got to represent from outside of Paris. So I'm going to read from my book. I'll start with the title poem. First hours of a rainy day. Lines in Oakland lines. Endless freeways in California. Misty forests and angel minstrels. All is all is lines. Loved the girl, he loved the girl. Orange thinness, yellow sun, springs and clocks. Human fetus, incredible photos. Beetles in yellow submarines. The circle is magic. Child's art and pumpkins grand. Such a perfect smile. No more, no more, gone. All is darkness, never ending. The sun's not seen in Oakland, but lines are in the painter's eyes. And the second poem in the book.
Yeah, hey, that's really nice.
Oh,
That's
thanks.
really nice. Very nice, thank you.
So number 2 is called Grinning Skulls. We are gathered together like water-stained stones, tumbling down the stream of dawn, beneath a white sun, as all before, it is our mind. But my mind needs to ask, Do you see through me, or am I there? Do I have substance, or do you even care? Can I stand against the wind of your ideas? Not through malice opposed, but rather through difference. The faces we all pull over our faces. What lies behind your eyes? What questions does your mind need to ask? A green apple in her lap, she lifts and bites and puts it back. Alone with pleasure, but lonely still, I need to get close. As she asked me, "Why are you so uptight?" I could not say, but only agreed and gave in. She stroked me quickly. There was no need of time. We weren't in love. I rolled from sleep inside out of her. Again alone. I still wonder what your eyes conceal, if your face is true. Grinning skulls everywhere. What do we care if symbols tear? Down the long, echo-haunted hall, she, the brown-haired beauty, and I, kiss with our eyes and pass, each alone, smiling.
So, three's a charm, Mr. David.
Indeed.
Okay.
Hoga for Yaga. God in flesh observes wonder. Ha! The seamless seam. Albert Einstein, techno-whiz, let go of what he knew and saw the world again. The actors spoke through masks. They did not show their faces. Only words came through. Death! Death! They shuddered. Oh, say that it's not true. The doctors spoke with twisted glee, their iron fangs agleam. Fighting for peace. You must accept, they said. You must do the most difficult thing of all, which is to do nothing, letting go of who you thought you were, so you can expand your self-image.
Well, okay, David. Thank you, David. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Mr. Dharma Dave. Okay, so I think next up on our list here now is Jack Cooper.
Yes. No, it's
Yes.
interesting how the word David matches, exactly matches the thought.
Thank you. Yeah, the word and the thought.
Mhm. Late spring, white petals, white pages, white blossomed months. The days stand on end like chestnut blossoms. Everyday unicorns lighting the sky. New true blueness, ultra right, right where you want it, in the nose and your eye. Life after May. Oh no, let's not think on it. It may not be April in your bonnet or per your dreams. but it's a damn sight better than the longing you crave, and can neither quite defend nor deny, nor even hope ever to supply. Let us be one body, united in songing for late spring, white petals falling slowly, more slowly, slowly from our eyes.
Okay, all right. All right, right in your eye, right. Here's one in your eye. Good.
Life
Okay,
after May.
okay, Jack. Right, let's not rush it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with you on that point as well. Let's not rush it. Okay, number two, Jack.
Number two. Okay, let me just bolster the visual field here. This is called Blind Date. The 15th of May, rain falling, thunder rocking the skies. And what am I to make of this new gift? The shadows numberless, dinner tomorrow night. And why? 9 long years, only 24 more hours to wait for the look on her face. Lovely, too lovely now to say. Trembling in the heavens approaches. Loud outside, anticipation breathes. Illumination briefly parts a darkened sky. Its portent high above her cleaves. I am in love with a dream come true. Alone tonight. For how long? Listening to the torrential patter on the leaves.
Okay, all right. Yes. And you know, uh, psychologists who wire people, you affirm something that they claim, which is they say that uh, the neuroscience, that adrenaline and endorphins, okay, satisfaction, are more released in anticipation of a desire or a fantasy. They say the brain lights up stronger in anticipation
Yeah,
of that desire.
yeah,
And that's something you resonate with in your poem.
yeah.
So, Jack, you're confirming neuroscience.
Oh, very good. What in
So,
terms of neuroscience?
really, really. Okay, so
Yeah,
three's a charm, Mister. Yeah,
I
go ahead.
mostly oppose it, but
Yeah,
okay. All right,
okay.
so three's a charm. This is going to take us to New York City, where the piece is called Rose Garden Promises. It has an epigraph. The subway also runs above ground. Petals, tulip yellow, strew this subway floor. Fashionable underneath, its starry dark renders them luminous. Boys to human home, like markers on a stage. First or last act, no one can tell, except lights glow throughout the car. Broad daylight fills its windows. Passengers, faces, transparencies, intermission suggests. Else, alternately consider when or if likely an entr'acte begin.
Okay. Well, that was Three's a Charm. Okay, thank you, Jack.
All right, thank you.
Where is that rose? Can you look? Where is that rose garden in New York? Is it? Is there a specific place, or is it?
It's beyond the last stop.
Okay, good enough. You're on the list.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. Okay, very good. Thank you, Jack. And
Thank you,
now,
everyone. Thank you.
and now we're going to, in fact, move over to New York, Long Island, I believe it is, right, with you, Martin, and bring on Martin Russick, please. You're on, Mr. Martin. You need to unmute, Martin.
This is I'll start with a short one. For those who don't know, a slider is a kind of turtle that's common around here. It's called.
I thought it was a hamburger.
That's also, it has many meanings. This little one is called Reflections. A slider swims over the moon, which trembles a while in her wake. Beside her, a fisherman's spoon reminds her she made a mistake. An egret who shatters the calm stirs rings which echo then pass. The regret I hold in my palm burns like the sun through a glass.
Yeah, all right. Okay. So that wasn't about a Philly cheesesteak. All right. That was very nice. So let's hear your second one, Martin.
So the next two are about the same person, and they kind of a little bit of a sequence. So I won't say more. This one's called My Laughter's Come. My laughter's gone to the Amazon, where monkeys howl to greet the dawn, as if to pray, as if to say, "Wahoo, wahoo, thank you each day." He seeks a sign, the touch divine, in bitter broth of bark and vine, in pulsing night, a vision bright, a healing light, a sacred sight. The insects hum, he hears their thrum, the talking drum chants, what will come? What is the source of my remorse? What is the force to change my course? The darkness throngs with prayers and songs. It all belongs, forgive the wrongs. He sings, he cries, the voices rise. He hears the trees, their clear replies. Below, above, there is enough, and all may bathe in pools of love to purge the pain, renew your brain, to make let you feel joy and laugh again. My laughter's gone from the Amazon. He came back home to greet the dawn. How long he'll stay, he cannot say. I'll howl my thanks for every day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. And now you have another one. Three's a charm.
And the third one is called Gracias. Oh, play the charango, Jay. Make the air shimmer blue with wings of the morpho. And deafening silence ring with radiant songs once more, with joyous laments for the distance to home, to love, the tartness of passion fruit, macaws at the clay lake. Your fingers are dancing now, the notes are all fireflies, rejoining the stars.
Yes, yes, yes. Wow, fireflies. Okay. All right. Did you read any of this the other night in your featured reading?
No.
Okay, so you're blessing us with some unheard poems tonight. That's very nice, Martin. Thank you. And now, go ahead, Tom.
I was going to say that I was always fascinated by the glowworms
Hmm.
when I would read about them in English poems, and what could they be? They certainly sound beautiful. And it was only later that I realized that they were, in fact, what I knew is a lightning bug or a firefly.
Well, there are actually certain, larvae that also glow. They don't fly, but they stay on the ground and glow.
Mm.
It's the same way.
Yeah, I think I come to think of it, I think I've seen. I think when I was in Costa Rica, I saw um, some something on the ground that would glow. They would
Mhm.
glow at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I always was fascinated by the idea of a firefly being like a fallen star returning.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, little glowworm, shimmer, glimmer. No, that's
Well, that's an old camp song, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna change the mood right now. I want to thank you, Martin. I'm going to change the mood right now because I have been a close follower of the tragedy that's going on between Israel and Palestine. And like millions around the world, I join them in my attention and my desire for this violence to stop. And having been to Israel and Palestine 3 times, I did confirm quite an opinion about what's going on and shared some great friendships with Israelis and Palestinians, and Israeli poets and singers and Palestinian poets. So I enjoyed good relations during the Intifada when I was there with people from both East Jerusalem and West Jerusalem. And so that even heartened me more, in a very profound personal manner, to hope that this conflict ends. This conflict ends. So what I'm going to do is read you 2 poems
Well,
that I wrote from.
oh,
Yes. What?
the record signal just is off. Did you change
Yes, it is.
anything or?
Yeah, because David is recording, and
Okay.
that's why I turned it off.
Okay.
Okay.
Fingers
We're getting it.
crossed.
Yeah,
Yeah, I am
fingers
recording.
crossed. Okay. So I'm going to read 2 poems from a book, that I've read from before called "We Want Everything," and that's what I'm going to do. So the first poem that I've done in the past is where I showed up to see a friend uh, um, on the Mount of Olives, you see, in Jerusalem, and one day I went to meet him and found out he had been murdered. And so I dedicate this poem to a murdered man who could have been from either side, but in this case, he was a Palestinian. And we didn't talk politics very much. We simply talked about his olives, his love of nurturing olives. And this is called When Ibrahim Fell. The moment comes, inevitable rendezvous, space, time, its fusion, life, death, one faced, ghost freed from the flesh, from the bone. You cease to think, nerves detach, race through your blood, limbs, joints, even the head, useless. Only the ears and the eyes open as never before. When Ibrahim fell while tending the olive grove, the pain was quick. His struggle to love, to struggle to live, to struggle to be, a severed root cast at the base of the giving tree. Assassin approached in heavy boots to gloat over his prey, this frail man-made corpse, supine, silent, at peace with the earth. Suddenly, the predator comes to sense failure, senses his own defeat, overcome by his victim's composure, a faint trace of a smile on the dead man's face, a moment of his assassin you will never know. Yes. Uh, okay, and the second one is symbolic. I understand that, and this is simply called Huda's Intifada. A woman in Gaza beats her clothes upon a rock. Arthritic hands curl and crack in the porous sands. She shares water at the well of Bedouins, its bittersweet wash to the tongue, lemon muscle of the mouth. Her leather lips spread atop gapped teeth. She sucks air that echoes, has traveled many days, like a camel's journey from south of Khartoum. She knows she will join fallen dates and apricots before the wane of the crescent moon. Her fate sits in still waters. Destiny comes surely like a desert snake. The silence summons she will fall like the parted date before the wane of the crescent moon. She thinks I am old in the Arabian night. She speaks to the desert snake, watched as rocks reduced to 1,000 sands, blown to the plains of Jordan, scattered to the Lebanon, sheaved to the Syrian heights, dusted in the waste of Rafah, caked mud in the hovels of Jerusalem. Lifting her crooked self erect, raising her arms, palms up, closing her dry eyes tightly, she whispers to the wind, O Palestine, gather yourselves on donkeys, carry me home before my final fall to this occidental mirage. Okay, thank you. And I will settle for having read two poems in this session. And so thank you for listening. And now that we've concluded the first set of our poetry reading, let's take a few minutes to chat and come back for a second round where everyone is invited to read two pieces. Okay? Okay.
Using God. Okay. Night with my lover.
Yes. Uh,
Said, don't you know? Answered, of course. Smiled, looking at each other like one. Said, don't you talk? Answered, of course. Our hands touch in the dark. Said, don't you realize your eyes like the sea? Smiled. Said, are you shy? Our hands touch already. This platonic love doesn't have a head. It's nonsensical. Against the half-lit doorway and bright shadow of morning, pointing its nose, his profile draws itself against the light, with particular focus on his eyelashes that stand soft and vertical like brushes, all dark. You hide behind your poetry, he said. You do hide behind.
Okay. And I'm always curious to know, has the person you shared that experience with, has that person gotten to know that poem?
No, never.
Okay. Okay. Women are better at that, I think, keeping things to themselves. All right, Claire, how about another one, please?
Yeah, let me see. Okay, an eye with no regrets, or a quest to the self. This brown eye shines perfectly in the water like the one of a fish, except it's not empty. It is so full of life, one wonders where it was born and who it should be. The person behind this look of desire, strong, merciless, it hears the gong resonate, one that is full of love and determination, a quest to the self. This one is completely abstract. It's normal if you don't understand it. I don't understand it myself.
Cool.
That's
Some
Maybe
of my favorite poems are like that, ununderstandable.
However, maybe over time, as does happen, the poem will inform you of you, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
reveal itself to you
That
as
is the theme, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hmm?
The quest for the self.
Yeah. A
Right.
quest to the self. Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. Okay, so who would have followed you in that next round? Would that have been
Kareem, is he
David?
gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he
He
ran out
might
of.
come back, but I think his batteries died or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he has a concern about a weak battery. It's happened before. So David Wilson, Dharma Dave,
I will
can
be
we
next then, eh?
can
Okay.
we hear from you, please?
Indeed. Okay, so here's one, a short one that this is about being at a party with people who were not at all intellectually curious. And it's called Untitled Loudly. They stood about the house, talking of things that did not matter. Then the beer was brought in, and they drank until they could not talk at all.
All right,
And
I've been to parties like that.
yeah, me too.
I've been the one that couldn't talk.
Yeah. So I will conclude my offerings for today with a little San Francisco sketch. This one's called North Beach Station. Feet firmly on the ground, the green lawn of Washington Square. In San Francisco, I have lived most of my life high above the air, in walk-up apartments and surveying the city, the bay and environs from the eagle's eye view of downtown high-rises. To actually touch the earth nourishes my soul, and I have spent long interludes on the grass in the open heart of North Beach. It was here that people gathered after the Great Quake in 1906, and where I saw them gather again following the Little Big Quake of 1989. On the north, the twin spires of St. Peter's and Paul at 666 Filbert Street tower over the park. In the west, the din from Muni and other traffic on Columbus Avenue rising steeply beyond to Russian Hill. Mario's Bohemian Cigar Store Cafe to the south, serving espresso and grilled eggplant sandwiches that are always the same, always good. Telegraph Hill with Coit's Tower atop rises to the east, and at its foot, looking out over the park, the little postal box that Rorschach Page for years has called its North Beach home. Other picnic memories of brown paper-wrapped bottles from Coit liquors sipped on the quiet. The fragrance of California marijuana floating on the breeze from the sidelines of the park. Grim-faced junkies mustering enough gumption to go uptown in search of a drag. Sitting on the grass with Vampire Mike, drinking malt liquor and reading comic books, agreeing that Reed Richards was definitely a guy who needed to be taken down a few pegs. St. Stupid's Day concert and my daughters joining in singing Bohemian Rhapsody. The Jesus Smackdown Wrestling Contest, featuring Jesus versus Jesus and Jesus versus Buddha. Says Buddha, I'm Buddha. I'm usually into peace and love, but this Jesus is going down. That was the last time I saw Ken Kesey, who showed us how to get high in the park without drugs. Roll up in a ball and hug your knees, hyperventilate, and then leap upwards toward the sky with an exploding head. And of course, later in the afternoon, Jesus and Buddha were dancing cheek to cheek to the band. But the one question that remains, and will probably always remain, is why does Benjamin Franklin preside as a statue in the center of Washington Square Park?
Now that's a question on everybody's mind. Why
We
does
wonder
Ben
about
Franklin?
that.
And have you ever come up with the answer to that?
Not yet.
Can I,
Still
can
working.
I tell a little Benjamin Franklin anecdote?
Of course.
Yeah, I think it's like the color of George, somebody's gray horse.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
When I was in high school, my history teacher occasionally graded AP exams, and he told us of one exam that had a question and had a particularly funny answer. And the question was, you were supposed to write an essay discussing the statement, Benjamin Franklin could be taken as a representative American of his time. And the answer that one person wrote, which unfortunately didn't get a good grade, but I think it was a brilliant answer, was Benjamin Franklin fathered illegitimate children on 3 continents. As such, he could not be taken as a typical American of his time.
He definitely could not be taken as a
No.
typical. He was an extraordinary American of any time.
I know.
An extraordinary human being of any time.
Yeah. And
Sorry for the silly interlude.
and I remember learning in history class from a quite learned professor that Ben Franklin was really down on universal voting. And he thought that giving the vote to the masses was not up to par for running a country. So while he was a valiant, risk-taking a revolutionary for the colonial cause, he is quoted as talking about that and objecting to that when the Constitution was being written up and so forth. He had great arguments with Tom Jefferson and other people, saying that it was a waste of time. And the prof went on to tell us that after the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia, Franklin was in a carriage riding through the streets and remarking on how disgusting and pitiful the average people were who were walking about. So, he's got that side to him as well.
So you know that from being in Philadelphia.
Well, I'm not from Philadelphia, but I came from Pittsburgh. But anyway,
Okay, but you've been to Philadelphia.
yeah, I have. I'll tell you what, and that's where you call a slider a Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah,
Of course, W.C. Fields was from Philadelphia.
of course, and his famous epitaph.
Yeah,
I'd rather be living in Philadelphia.
I'd rather be in Philadelphia.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Okay.
It was explained to me that the actual reason for that was that Philadelphia was known to be the worst spot on the vaudeville circuit.
Right.
Okay.
And there's also the great scene in My Little Chickadee when they're about to hang him. They say, "Any last words, you villain?" He says, "I'd love to see Paris before I die, but Philadelphia will do."
Okay. All right, cool. Okay, so let's see who would be up next now.
Oh,
Kareem, you're
Kareem is
back.
back.
That would
Kareem
be
is back.
Jack.
Okay.
that would be
Uh,
Jack.
Oh, Kareem's
Okay,
back.
so
Sorry, guys.
yeah,
Kareem's back.
yeah. So let's sort this out. Kareem, do you have something to contribute in this second round?
No, but I'm very hungry. I missed the discussion before because it's very interesting. And hope we'll talk about civilizations and history another time.
Well, I'll tell you what, if this is recorded successfully, you'll be able to listen to the chat we conducted during the break.
Is that true?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Kareem, I just sent you some links, a link to some things.
I saw it because I was searching on my computer. I found him.
Mhm.
He was
Good.
born in 995, and he died in Damas or in Egypt, in Cairo. He died in Cairo.
Okay. Okay. We're up to date on some important historical references. Great. Okay. Who said poets have interests? Don't have interests besides their own writing. Cool for us. Okay, so then let's move on. And now I believe it would be the turn for Jack.
All right, I accept.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to go to New York, specifically to Brooklyn. This is a poem called Night Talks. Brooklyn is a stage set for funk. Desolation Row, the real materialization of a dream. Yet have I to have even fallen asleep. Some now forever, such none need. Brooklyn wakes for every damned one. What up to me? Who feel me most deaf sees its rest excess. Thank you.
All right. You can take the boy out of Brooklyn, but you can't take the Brooklyn out of the boy. Is that
Boy, yeah.
okay? Okay,
So-
Jack.
All right. So with that, this was actually something I thought to read last night, but didn't. It's called The Turing Point. Lost track of what was here and there, New Orleans. Thought I might collect all I missed, have lost, and the loss of it turned out to be a boundary. Couldn't reach, didn't make. Water without fall, never ending, no beginning, beginning to no end. My reach toes no limit. An infinite series has no arrival.
Okay. Okay. Hallelujah. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
All right. And so now, Mr. Martin,
All right.
we're over to you.
I have two shortish ones. The first one, I'm a little bit uncertain about the last line, but I will go with one version of it. It's not based on, it's a relationship kind of poem, but it's not based on a real thing. It's based on some real things, observing nature around me, but I've transposed it to people. It's called Departure. And if you left, would you just disappear, or like a mallard jerk your head and fly? or snort and flash a white tail like a deer? Or would you pen a note to say goodbye, or mutter something I'm not meant to hear, or pierce the heavens with a red tail's cry? Or would you migrate once or twice a year? Would you go far away or stay nearby? Returning, would you simply reappear, or would you call and wait for a reply? Would you suggest we go out for a beer to itemize the flaws I can't deny? Or will we hold each other and say, dear, I will not leave till I must die?
Okay.
Must die. Must die.
So would you like to follow that with a second piece, Martin?
Yeah, and the second one's very different. It's a song, not a translation. The music hasn't been composed. I guess it's sort of, in my head, I hear it Paul Simon-ish kind of thing. It's called The Song of the Arch. Walking down a passage, maybe it's a dream, maybe someone's alternate reality. High above a balcony, tinkling glasses gleam and laughter samples improvised banality. Through the fragile dark and passing random noise, isn't it majestic how it tries to rise? The pointing finger of a wine-inspired voice sticks a concrete monument before my eyes. This is the song of the arch that arcs across our lives, the way that burdens only help to hold it fast, the way that one end leaves and the other end arrives. Is it a bridge to the future? Is it a link to our past? Standing in Salona, middle of a field, ancient ruins of a violent history. Walls have toppled, but the gateways didn't yield. Sad gladiators passed and prayed for victory. Found an aqueduct that's adequate tonight. Here I'll rest and watch the sun snail crawl away, till darkness writes commands in countless spots of light. Strain your neck to scan the vaulting Milky Way. This is the song of the arch that arcs across our lives, the way that burdens only help to hold it fast, the way that one end leaves and the other end arrives. Is it a bridge to the future? Is it a link to our past?
Come here, you Will.
I like bridges.
Wow, my. Okay. Anyway, that'll work as a song. It certainly will. Poetic lyrics. All right. Yes. Thank you. Right. So I believe I'm the last one here. The last one here, and I'm just gonna pull out two poems here. That here's the first one that I like. This is by Frank O'Hara, and the New Yorker modernist school, as they called him. And this is called Animals. Have you forgotten what we were like then, when we were first rate, and the city came fat with an apple in its mouth? It's no use worrying about time, but we did have a few tricks up our sleeves and turned some big corners. The whole pasture looked like an old meal. We didn't need speedometers. We could manage cocktails of ice and water. I wouldn't want to be the faster or greener than now if you were with me. Oh, you were the best of all my days. And that's there
Always
you
dig
go.
some Frank O'Hara.
Yeah. Okay. So in that light, when we're talking about things, shall we say, undetermined, yet to be determined, seems to have come out throughout this evening. Uh, this is a piece I've done before called Slipping Out of L7. And as you may know, L7 was an expression to mean if you put an L and a 7 together, what do you get, Mr. Scientist Martin, if you join an L and a 7 together? You get a square, baby. All right, so this comes slipping out of L7. At 3 years old, I chose to rise, turned the handle on a door, a corner on a block, and I walked in this world. I looked at life. I have been preoccupied. Trains, boats, cars, planes, designs, dreams, plans, maps stamped on soles of my shoes. How to, where, go, it's at, about don't it, damn. For 30 and 3, I have stepped to rhythmic ticks of time. Though not a tune I label mine, tune borrowed, broke, and blue. Today I put a hold on big round face of a majestic clock, gaze upon it and ponder my time, my tune, finally to admit I don't know the yin and yang of it. Big round clock chimes, take 5, and then some. The mainspring, the main thing you dig for, internal, simple, a clean baseline. I smile calm, quiet. I'm a man spent on parole. Not doing time, just taking time. Not doing time, just taking time. Not doing time, just taking time. I'm about shooby doo doo wah wah. Okay, thank you for listening. Yeah, I
Great.
enjoy that poem. I really
Yeah,
like
me
Yeah.
that.
too.
I felt good about it. We all have our poems that we actually even like sort of stop measuring it. I don't know, meter or measure or whatever, and it just felt good and rather honest too. Right.
That's a
I
great
knew the.
conclusion to our proceedings.
Oh, well, I hope it serves then in that capacity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice little bookend.
yeah, okay. So, well, here we have been through two sets as as 7 people tonight, and I, what do I like to say at the end of these sessions, David?
You'd like to encourage all of us to thank each other for being
And
here and sharing our work with each other.
and that
Everybody, thank everybody.
Everybody, thank
that
everybody.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
everybody.
everyone.
right.
Thank
You're
Thank
all a
you
Okay.
all.
feature.
yeah.
Great, great. So I'm gonna pour my dog some water in its bowl. I have to take her out after this is over, Bertha. And then tomorrow morning I'm leaving for Barcelona.
Oh,
I'll be there
nice.
for Yeah, I'll be there for 6 days. My son is going to host me, and I'm going to plug into the poetry scene as best I can while I'm there, and
Nice.
be back. Unfortunately, I mean for me, be back in Paris next Sunday evening to open up the shop again for us.